This video tutorial will focus on the new Kodiak Facility Management System. It is used whenever you need to make a maintenance request or wish to utilize a facility such as a computer lab, mobile cart, conference room, library, or even the auditorium. However, the focus of this tutorial will simply be on reserving a computer lab or mobile cart. In order to access Kodiak, simply open your internet browser by clicking on the Internet Explorer icon. This will take you to your district staff homepage. From here, start Kodiak Facility Management System and type in your login credentials. If you have forgotten your login username or password, simply click on the Forgot Your Username and or Password and you will be prompted to type in your email. It will be sent to you. Once you have logged into Kodiak, the most efficient method to determine the availability of a facility is to perform a query usage request. If you do not see this option, go to the Add tab and select it, along with Personal Usage Request and Query Usage Request, and click OK, and they will be brought to your front home Kodiak page. Another option would be to select the Show All, and you could start it from there as well. However, if you are going to access computer labs frequently, you will want to add it to your home screen of Kodiak. The query request usage will open to a list of calendar view of everything that is occurring in the district. So go ahead and start your query usage request. This opens you to, again, the calendar or list view of everything that's going on in the district. So as you can see, it can look pretty chaotic. The filter button is your friend in Kodiak. Remember that. Filter is your friend, as it will help to narrow your query to a very specific location that you'd like to reserve. Select the time period in which you'd like to search for availability within the date range fields. Simply click on the calendar to the right of the date range and click on the dates that you would like to search. I'm simply going to put in a 1-week block of October 1st through October 5th. You can make that date range as long or as short as you would like. Select the facility in which you are wanting to make a usage request. More than likely, if you're middle school staff, you'll select the middle school. High school staff will select high school. Obviously, there will be exceptions to this rule, as coaches may be reserving facilities and buildings different from which they work. I'm going to select high school for the purposes of this tutorial. Within the Area tab, you may select a specific computer lab or other area immediately, such as Computer Lab 129 at the high school, or Computer Lab 115 if we had chosen the middle school. So here you could select the computer labs that you're specifically looking for. If we leave it as any area, that will allow us to see all labs and mobile labs at once. So I suggest leaving this broad to begin with, and we can always narrow our search later. If you're reserving a computer lab, you will want to change the category to computer lab. You do not need to complete the requested by field if you do not want to. You can use that as a query category to search for other users at a later date. Go back up to the top and click OK as you saw me just do, and this will open up a calendar view. If you like a list view better, you can go back up here to the options that are listed above and click on List View, and you can view it that way as well. My brain processes a calendar a little bit better, and so I prefer to look at it this way. And as you can see, there's a lot of people and a lot of time slots that are filled in. So I am going to use my filter button again It is our friend, and this will help me to begin looking in more specific areas of the building. I'm going to go back to that area that we left open to look at all labs at once, and because I used to work in the science department, I'm going to go look to see if the science department mobile lab is available. I'm going to go back up top and click OK. Eventually, you'll be able to find open dates and times for the computer use. When you hit a screen like this, it tells us that the computer is wide open for that week. And at this point, I would be ready to make a request. I'm going to go back to my filter options and see if I can find something that might be filled in a little bit and still show you an open date. For example, here, October 1st doesn't have anything scheduled. And October 2nd, the computer lab is only being used from 2:30 to 3:21. So there's some availability here. At this point, I know some available dates. I'm ready to schedule the lab. I can go home and click on Add Usage Request. I'm selecting the building at which I want to make my reservation, and I'm finding the specific computer lab or mobile cart that I want to reserve. Now I know that that science lab was completely wide open, so I'm going to select it. And that brings us to this screen here. If you're using the computer lab, the description box allows you to write a brief narrative of what you'll be using the computers for. It can be as simple as exam assessment, internet research, writing, PowerPoint presentations, anything of that nature. I'm going to simply write exam assessments. Putting in your last name will show up on the calendar, and your extension would allow your colleagues to call you if they had any questions. In the comment box down below, you might want to add information that might be important to your colleagues. For example, if you only need 10 computers, you might want to write using only 10 computers. That way, your colleagues would know that 20 are still available for their use. Remember to go back up to the top and click Next. Enter the date or dates for which you are entering your request. Click on the calendar icon to the right and select the date. I'm going to select October 1st. If I'd like to add an additional date, I clicked Add, go back up to the calendar, and I'll add the 2nd as well. Always remember to go back up to the top and select Next. This screen allows you to enter a starting and ending time, or to select the specific periods in which you'd like to reserve the cart. I'm simply going to select first hour for this tutorial so that I don't have a lot to clean up when I'm done, but obviously if you had multiple hours that you wanted to select, you would do so. This screenshot is for the high school, so it only shows a 9-hour bell schedule. If this was the middle school, it would bring up your 10-hour bell schedule. Go back up to the top when you're done selecting your time frame and hit Next. This next screen will rarely apply to using the computer labs or any of the mobile carts. However, if you're reserving a conference room, the auditorium or library or something of that nature, you might need a PA system or a projector. This is the screen that would help you to request those resources by placing a check mark in the appropriate boxes. This would generate an email to the appropriate staff, and that would help you meet those needs. When you're finished, go up to the top and click Save. Congratulations, you have just completed your first usage request. If by chance you made a mistake or need to edit or delete later on, go to the Kodiak homepage and select Personal Usage Request. So from here, you're going to go home, and you're either going to log out because you're finished and confident that you've done what you've needed to do, or, like I said, you realize that you've made a mistake, or you just want to see what you've scheduled. So these are all of my personal usage requests that I have made, and as you can see, I've got the computer labs scheduled for some upcoming computer trainings after school. However, these are the 2 that I just scheduled, and obviously I don't want to be tying up a computer lab during the day. So I'm going to go in and I am going to delete those on the right hand side. I could also edit them over here, which would bring back up one of the screens that you saw me working with earlier. I could change the date, or I could come in and change my starting and end time. I'm going to go back to cancel so that I can pull it up and delete it from here. If you have any questions about using the Kodiak Facility Management System, please don't hesitate to call my extension 5407, or I'm sure Teresa would also be available at 7024. When you're done, always remember to log out. Thanks for watching this tutorial, and hopefully we'll have plenty more to come.